My focus for the Behaviorist Biography project is on Dr. Julie S. Vargas. The S stands for Skinner. Dr. Vargas is the oldest child, or actually oldest daughter of B.F. Skinner. She was an elementary teacher for years before getting her doctorate in education research and becoming a college professor. Her main research was on furthering the knowledge of behavior analysis. She has written a few books and lots of articles on this topic. The majority of her writings have to do with implementing the principles and procedures of behavior analysis into the classroom. Dr. Vargas helped found the B.F. Skinner Foundation, and she is the president of that foundation. Some dates worth noting in the life of Dr. Vargas are: she was a professor at West Virginia University from 1966 to 2004. Wow. While there, she wrote the book Writing Worthwhile Behavioral Objectives in 1973. And in 1989, she helped found the B.F. Skinner Foundation, where she still works to this day. In 2013, she published her most well-known book, Behavior Analysis for Effective Teaching. Dr. Vargas has written lots of articles and books. Here I have listed the ones that I used for this presentation. The books, Behavior Analysis for Effective Teaching. In this book, Dr. Vargas talks about how school systems can implement behavior analysis techniques and strategies throughout their school, not just in the classroom. She uses real-life examples from her teaching days. This book has also helped those preparing to take the BCBA exam due to the amount of information it contains on behavior analysis. The second book I used was Writing Worthwhile Behavioral Objectives. In this book, Dr. Vargas guides us on how to recognize an action or skill, its function, and then how to write out a goal and an objective for it. The articles I used, the first one was the Ullman-Skinner Letters, Variables Defining Behavioral Science. This article contains letters that were written between Dr. Vargas's father, B.F. Skinner, and Professor Jerome Ullman, a researcher of behavioral interventions for those with special needs. Another article, Contributions of Verbal Behavior to Instructional Technology. Dr. Vargas explains how verbal behavior has improved since her father's death, but how it also has a ways to go in regards to being able to adequately measure the sequences of verbal behavior. She discusses the differences between tax and mands and why it's important to know those differences. The other article that I used is Programmed Instruction, What It Is and How to Do It. This article reminded me of the Universal Design for Learning and how it explains the differences between the traditional transmission of teaching versus the behavioral programmed ways of teaching. A main point in this article is that with traditional teaching, if a student doesn't learn the information, it's their fault, the student's fault. Whereas with the programmed instruction, if the student doesn't learn the information, the lesson is revised and retaught. Dr. Vargas has continued her father's work in behavior analysis, with her main focus being on helping teachers to implement the techniques and principles of behavior analysis and programmed instruction in their schools and classrooms. As mentioned earlier, Dr. Vargas helped found and is the president of the B.F. Skinner Foundation. She is also the former president of the Association for Behavior Analysis International. She has written several books and articles, all related in some way to the science of behavior analysis. If I could interview Dr. Vargas, I would ask her the following questions. What made you decide to continue your father's work? Did you use behavior analysis in your classrooms when you taught 3rd and 4th grades? Do you agree with all of your father's work in behavior analysis, or have you discovered in your own research things that disagree with what he believed? If you could ask your father anything in the world right now, what would it be? And last, what was it like being the daughter of B.F. Skinner? Was he a devoted father, or was he more devoted to his research? In the many years that Dr. Vargas has devoted to the science of behavior analysis, she has contributed many things. I believe her main contributions are the difference between programmed instruction and traditional instruction, with programmed instruction benefiting all the students in a classroom. She has helped to shape and grow numerous teachers in their knowledge of behavior analysis, along with teaching them effective teaching methods. She, of course, founded and is still the president of the B.F. Skinner Foundation, and she has been and still is an avid advocate for the field of behavior analysis. Thank you.